Thank you. And at the outset, I must thank Times of India Group for organizing this event and giving us the opportunity. After the razzmatazz of entire branding and marketing, compliance seemed to be a bit drab area. But I am sure every day if you open the newspaper, you will find the highlights today. Regulators are very decisive and across the board the regulations. So looking forward some interactive and very, very precise discussion. I as a professional, I also interact with the different stakeholders. The entire role of the compliance and the compliance function is going through a huge transformation from a advisory role to co-owner of the risk, particularly conduct risk, compliance, and data privacy. There's something which is going through where the investors are very keen that the compliance function is becomes really live. And if you open the newspaper, you see the compliance issues regarding client onboarding, regarding mis-selling, regarding the servicing of the loan, and the list goes on. So with these changing regulations, let me ask Ms. Kamala, you are in the professional for long and probably looking at the changing of role and expectation from different stakeholders. So what are your views, how the institutions can manage the changing expectation from the stakeholders?
Thank you so much for having me on this panel. Good afternoon to everyone. And I'm indeed honored and humbled to be part of this session. Has the regulatory landscape undergone a change in last couple of decades? The answer to that question lies in, has the business landscape changed in last couple of decades or no? And all of us would affirmatively say yes, because there are multiple things that have changed or transformed in the business world. And at the center of everything that has changed is the technology, which is capable of disrupting your business in no time, and they can immediately disrupt you. So if we look at the securities market transformation in last 3 decades, we have walked a long path. Starting from an era where we did not have any norms or rules to run a market, today there is not an element or a dimension where rules do not exist. Regulators have done wonderfully well. And we have seen the result of increased focus on regulation and compliance. In my mind, regulation and compliance and business are two sides of the same coin. They cannot be hardcore separated at all. And hence, our markets have transformed from a rule-based outlook towards compliance to establishing framework and environment in organizations which encourage ethical behavior and responsible decision making. So that means it is a deep journey. Today, whatever we do, whether it is because of regulation or whether it is because of customer ask, all of us want to be on the right side of the stakeholder expectations, and stakeholder pool itself has grown. Today, it is no longer only customer is the king. Customer, of course, continues to be the king. But in addition, we also have employees who contribute as important stakeholder. We have regulators with whom we are partnering for creating a safe ecosystem as a stakeholder, and not to forget the environment in today's ESG world. So, various stakeholders are important and integral part of our business ecosystem, and looking at everyone's expectation is what the norms of the country, be it Companies Act, be it regulations from RBI, be it from SEBI, everywhere we are looking at being fair to stakeholders. Many a time, between stakeholders there is conflict. Then is our decision-making process fair to one and all? And if one stakeholder versus another erupts, what is the best way to run the business? And you must be knowing now, top 1,000 companies are already responsible for reporting business responsibility reports. And when I say market, I'm not referring to only the secondary market. It also encompasses all the corporate entities, the way they run business, the way they disclose information to the market, and the way they come across as being friendly to environment, ecosystem, and decision making. I think our country has seen wonderful journey in terms of transition to handle higher level responsibility at business entity level. And kudos and thanks to the focus that regulators are giving on all the aspects relating to bringing this culture and fostering ethical and responsible behavior in the country.
Well said. Ethical behavior and compliance as an enabler for the business. Given the short time, let's move, the compliance in a dynamic area. How do you see that technology plays a role? And I combine with that, I know that security market is using big data as a big way. And the advent of AI, Gen AI, we have got some 5 minutes left. I know this is a very short session, but your views on that, technology and the big data.
So, stock exchanges are more fintech companies than pure business companies, because technology is integral part of stock markets. And in fact, stock markets are the first entity which has embraced technology in very innovative way, because when National Stock Exchange started, they embraced the Visa technology much ahead of all other industries. And today, we have state-of-the-art technology running in the stock exchange eco space. And you would believe that the markets have grown. See, in the early 90s, if we spoke about size of market, it was 350 crore was the volume that was done on a daily basis. Today, I can't even count how many times it has undergone a change. And we have a lot of technology players actually playing a very important role. We have seen advent of various channels of transaction online to begin with, and later on, now we have low latency software application programs, high frequency trading applications, and the size of the market has immensely grown. So is the participation from various stakeholders, and investor base has gone up significantly, and that is also paving way for us to also recognize newer ways of monitoring the market, newer ways of oversight on the market, because today social media and technology are also capable of eluding and creating deceptive environment for public at large, which is the worrying factor for us. So we deploy the most modern tools even to monitor markets on real-time basis. Besides that, investor empowerment, investor awareness is something market infrastructure institutions are very, very deeply embracing, so that investors' interest and all market participants' interest is protected at large. Apart from this, the risks that markets are facing today are quite different from the risk that was facing the market erstwhile era, because the risk was then restricted to only the financial risk. Today we are talking of technology risk. Technology can't afford to fail even for a fraction of a second. We are talking of cyber security risk, and all of our member community are using high-end technology, and none of them can afford to fail. So ensuring that our markets operate on robust technology is the primary concern of both the regulator as well as the market infrastructure institutions. And besides all this, the data that is generated at the exchange platforms are mind-boggling. See, in banking sector, it is a transaction-oriented system, whereas in stock market, minute to minute, second to second transactions are happening, and you use the most complex technology ever possible to run a market efficiently. So being available, being safe place, and being accessible to investors at large are the challenges which all the institutions are effectively grappling. And on the primary market side as well, you have seen shrinkage in time taken to allot the shares to investors, and today we are talking of ASBA facility for IPO. That means your money as an investor is not going out of your bank account. Only if you get allotment, to the degree of allotment, your money is getting unlocked from your bank account. So I think we have traveled significant path at the backbone of technology. I think we are the best use case for application of efficient technology.
Wonderful. I take it away that non-financial risk is becoming very important. Objectively managing that, use data and technology to actually oversee it on a real-time basis. And this is a completely dynamic new era which we are running it. With this, I will probably end because our times are finished. Thank you.
Thank you very much.